Use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. This is E for eMoneyWizard.com and MarketWizards.com. It is 10 o'clock on the 3rd of April. And wishing happy birthday to my sister. Well, this is part of the game. You never know when you get a news event that gives you something that you were hoping for. We talked earlier, and I'm going to do this from the standpoint that you were flat and were doing nothing. I'm not going to assume you just made yourself the chips you wanted. I'm not going to assume that you were headed long or short. I'm going to assume that you said, I got a few points, I'm sidelined. So because I want you to understand the system and the ideas. That's more important right now than any one trade or whatever. So now I'm going to revisit that question that I asked you earlier, which is, Mr. Market, if I give you 20 points, will you give me 4, 5, or 6? And in that case, for 20, it means 8, 10, or 12. And we had our target up here that was achieved. And I said, if you're long, make sure you are paid by the open. And the big boys have come in and somebody knows something. And all of a sudden we get this gap down. You immediately, if you have a trailer heading in for that 78 target, you immediately capture on a news gift. Because your target is achieved. We had said the half gap target was 76. First thing you do is just cover. And if you're flat, you want to try to buy, then we know that we'd said 78 was the buy area. We also said that this 72 to 73 is the important support. Correct? Let's go back and look over there. Okay, this was the chart that I had suggested. Let's look at this chart. Let's call this bar our primary support. And I said the shorts would love to get the megaphone pattern, 3 little Indians, and maybe we can come down in here. Well, so far, that's not a bad call. Risk and reward had come in. You go back and look at all the notes we talked about. And this turns out to be the better odds trade. And you get lucky if you're playing the better odds trade. All done in overnight. I said, make Charlie chase today and then be careful. Because they love to dump them, then make them chase, and then they come back and whack them. It's still neutral. We haven't even come back yet and tested the breakout, right? Breakout was yesterday's highs. So now you're sitting there saying, I wish I had taken that short. I wish. Coulda, woulda, shoulda is the name of this game. Got about a dime off the top, so 8, 10, or 12 idea has played out one time. Anybody that's got themselves into the 76 to 78 zone, you capture. Goal of the game is to get 4 or 5 points a day per contract. Chasers got whacked. We said be careful chasing today. Still not negative. Still not bearish. Just the range has been expanded. Hey, James. Thank you, guys. Okay, the aggressive longs have been caught and trapped first. Important retest, obviously, if we can get down here into that 72 to 73. And this is a two-way day. So now we can move this back just the way we said. If we come back into this box, then this is our fighting box, and this has been rejected. This is the OTF predictive chart. And for now, target 91 has to wait, 92. We had suggested this is going to be an important level today if we got any kind of a pullback of substance. OTF predictive chart. And if you've made yourself your VIG already, spread your trades out. Don't be in a rush to do anything right now. Megaphone pattern. All I did to suggest this possibility was to take this idea and say, okay, if they've got their three little Indians and we come backwards, then this needs to get broken and then follow this type of a trend line. That's all I did there. Just kind of mirror that megaphone possibility. And it was only a possibility. It wasn't guaranteed. You got to get some type of a news event to help you out in a day like today. Anybody's jumping in short late, nowhere near the same odds as you had back here at the high when you didn't want the short. I get that. And we have come in and tested the middle of the angel and demon. And that's usually our first target on the way back down if you undercut all this support. And we can see the importance of this bar right here still as support until broken. Overnight, not much auctioning going on, so this is about as fair a way you can play it to get this type of a range. And I said I was not thinking we would get more than a 10-point range for IB. So we've done that really already from the high. And we've got just about a 10-point range for IB. So our target worked pretty well. And this you can't count on. The failure here doesn't have to mean you get a gap and go. But let me put this on a 1. Anybody that's buying, 72 we're using as our support. And probably a range type trade right now. And here's our 5-minute pulling back, bypass the green, catches at the red line. All I can say is we've got a few trap traders up here. It's up to the shorts to contain the bounce now. Generals have come south side. We know that by the size of the trade, but it's still not bearish. You come back and close today's gap, that's another story. Then I'll say neutral. So we're in this box right now, right? That 81, 82, 72 support. And thrust was up. So theoretically, until the low goes, high pullbacks, scalp with that trend. For now, I believe the high may be in. Need some time to absorb this and trade the range. This is our predetermined support this morning. Get lucky if we can get back and test 78, 77, below that, 72 support. And this would be a retest. Yesterday's breakout. Take a look at one more chart. Let's take a look at 30-minute chart and the 60 that we had been looking at. Here's your 30. And yesterday we were using the 60, so let's take a look at that again. All right, so at 70 now, coming up to probably 72s. I'm a long way. That long way was the edge today. On understanding that relationship, that was our edge. And it's still tough trading. Yes. Yep. So it turns out that this chart is really our best friend for an edge for whether you want to play short or long, and still not easy. Certainly not easy to trade either. But the concept, what I'm trying to teach is this concept gave us an edge today to think probably better odds to try to come back. That 88, 87 and a half that we use for resistance has paid off pretty well for anybody that said, yeah, I'll take it. Like I said, the old days, you wouldn't even consider going long here. The bots have changed it a bit, but you just say, I'm either shorting or I'm staying the side. No way I'm going to take that trade. The risk reward is crazy. I don't want that trade. And yet over time, the bots seem to be able to make those trades. But I felt this was our key idea. And it does not negate and make this bearish, because until you take out the overnight low and then take out yesterday's low and start coming back and fill, not bearish. You know, we haven't even done the retest here. Still got trapped shorts. Here's your third time through trade right there. All right, 1, 2. Count these two as the same. All right, that's a little double in there. So 1, 2, 3. Here's your third time through. Boom. These patterns you can start to get a feel for if they have a pullback where they want to retest and where traders got caught and trapped. That's the importance of this, is understanding that traders that were shorting got caught and squeezed. The OTF chart on the template, let me get that for you. Anyways, if you've had a good morning already, heaven's sakes, put it in your pocket for sure. You take advantage of gifts. When a gift is given, if you're in that trade, you take it. First thing I did was say, grab it. Remember? I said, grab it. Take it if you're in. Because the target was hit, the half gap target.